Hello, welcome back.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh,
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Oh yeah, happy Friday. Happy Friday
We got
indeed.
we got a new product in this week, didn't we?
Yay. Tell us all about
I
it.
always get really excited when we get product in, guys, and I know that's really lame for y'all because we've worked on them for months by this point, but I always get really excited because then we get to make people happy by sending all of this stuff out. So our Nightbreed Narcissus thumb knives have arrived. So we will be shipping them out starting Monday.
Our thumb model demonstrates the
Pretty
thumb
good.
knives. It looked great. They came out good. This was a fun project. I always liked Nightbreed.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie that people haven't seen enough. I hadn't seen it until you told me to watch it, in fact.
some cool,
And it was good.
cool designs, cool makeups.
Clive
Yeah.
Barker.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked that that's not on more people's like I always look up lists where it's like obscure horror movies of the 80s, obscure horror movies of the 90s,
Yeah.
And it's not on any of those lists, and it's so much better than a lot of the kind of more obscure movies.
It is. And I don't think a lot of people make the connection. I mean, everybody knows about Hellraiser, there's
Yeah.
Clive Barker. But they don't necessarily make the connection between Hellraiser and Nightbreed. It's just a natural, seems,
Didn't
bread
it
and butter
got
go
kinda-
together.
It got kind of confused too, because I thought, maybe I'm remembering this wrong, they released an extended version of that later, but it was under a different name, Cabal, I think.
I don't know.
No, you're running deep on me there. There was a director's cut that was always kind of whispered that everybody wished they would release, and I think Clive Barker started showing it off at conventions for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then ultimately it might have been released as a director's cut. I don't know, but technically, I guess the follow-up to Nightbreed would be Lord of Illusion.
Oh, with Scott Bakula. I remember that.
I mean, there's
I don't know if I've seen
they
that.
they connect the points, they connect the dots between the two. It's not as though you see Midian and monsters and that sort of thing, but
Any viewers out there, comment and let me know about the director's cut of Nightbreed. I'm curious.
Yes, educate Jared.
Absolutely.
And
Therefore,
I've
the
never
rest
seen
of
Lord
us,
of Illusions.
it's good. It's good. And I forget exactly what the connection was because I didn't like it as much. But I really enjoyed Nightbreed. It was the right time and place for that film. But back to your original point, yeah, something as popular and just familiar as Hellraiser, you would again think there would be a natural connection to follow his work, and I don't think that happened with Nightbreed.
I
But
don't know if that happened so much with Clive Barker even. He sort of, like John Carpenter always was really good about like everything was John Carpenter's this, John Carpenter's that.
Yeah.
Like it's not like John Carpenter's Hellraiser. So, I'm sorry, Clive Barker's Hellraiser.
right,
So, although I think he did write he wrote The Hellbound Heart, I think, which was what they based Hellraiser on.
Like it's inspired by kind of, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he wrote the book and then did the film. I don't know which, but I just don't. I don't think he was as much of like a. He kind of went down the line of like Tobe Hooper, where horror fans know Tobe Hooper, but no one really follows Tobe Hooper work per se. Whereas John Carpenter, again, very good at just sticking his name on things, so it's a John Carpenter film.
yeah. I like Clive Barker's art too. He does creepy stuff, and you get to see some of that in Nightbreed. But yeah, just another one of those properties that we decided to give a little love to. That seems to your point, otherwise be neglected. And there's not a ton of stuff, to do from there. We don't really do masks and such. So prop wise, made sense. Fun piece to get in and out of, and we gave it a good bit of attention, and it turned out great. So undoubtedly, Sean's popping up some pictures right now, and
yeah, I actually like the way the box turned out on that one.
It's pretty. It does pop.
Fun with the packaging.
Yeah, Sean was saying that. For everybody who doesn't know, Sean's one of our guys that works in the office here in South Carolina with us, and we've got everything set up in a various parts of the office, as it were. And he was saying how regardless of all the other cool things we've got in the cabinets, that box kind of pulls you in, especially when you've got the chrome popping in front of it. There's something very satisfying about it.
It's mostly, I would say it's probably mostly reminiscent to our Creepshow ashtray box, which people seem to like.
Yeah.
where there's kind of like it's not really not the same as the Creepshow ashtray box, which is more of like a make the pattern we made of all the art, but it has
Photo comic
a lot
panels.
of the aspects of that which people seem to really enjoy.
Yeah, yeah, I like it a lot. So again, a super small run, and you guys should go ahead and knock them out. And as Amy mentioned last week, because there's been a bit of a run on the horror related things. The monkey paws are sold out. The
Monkey Paw one.
House of the Head, the monkey paws, the
Mhm.
House of the Heads, and all the supernatural stuff is sold out. So yeah, the First Blades, Ruby's Knife, all that. This leaves us with, we got a few ashtrays left, and the Creepshow ashtrays.
But I mean, those are close. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
We don't have, we don't
Those
have
are
very
almost
many of
gone
those
too.
either.
Well, like
And we always say this, like no one else will make those ever.
never. Nobody's
Actually,
making a creep.
never.
And we'll show those
This
off
is
too.
like
We didn't plan on getting into Creepshow ashtrays, but we might as well talk about it for a
no.
second. Yeah,
This is one of those things where if you do want one, I always say this and people think it's a sales pitch. But like I honestly believe no one else would ever make these the way we did.
nobody's going to
With
be as
marble
stupid as
and
us to make
marble
these
and
again.
pewter.
What is it? Yeah,
Nobody will do this.
It
I mean,
You might
reminds
be able to
me.
get a resin pull on Etsy at some point,
I need to
like
get one.
everyone has been.
what was that,
But
Jared?
It reminds me that I need to get one. I've always wanted one.
That's,
Jared,
yes, you do. That's Jared's like, hey, he'll hit me up later. Hey, bro,
yeah,
you
I,
got a ding
yeah.
box? I need one
I'll
of
send
those.
you. I'll send you an email later.
As,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got to get
yeah,
one.
as one sale pings through.
yeah. But the closest anybody's going to get to those ashtrays down the road is resin copies of ours. Sooner or later, somebody will dunk ours in rubber, and there'll be some resin pulls of it. But
I guarantee it, and I wish we'd put more of a tell into it because I know that'll happen because there's so many like fake pulled from originals.
But you
out
did
there
put
already.
a tail in it. You molded the cherub in your image. He
I was gonna
really
say.
So I
lived.
just have to hold it next to my face.
Yeah,
I know. I wish you can't really see it in mine.
we always joke that Tyler molded the cherub in his image. Tyler's got
Like
a
one
picture
day
of himself
for
when he's
one
young
day
where he
for
actually does
socials.
look a little like the demonic cherub.
That would be the only
One
part
day
you
for
could replicate,
socials.
though.
Yeah,
Because it's done in real marble, right? Each piece is
Yeah.
unique.
It,
No
well,
two-
it is. So all the veins and everything in it are unique to each piece, but the sculpt itself is the tail. But
Yeah.
nobody's gonna do a pewter cherub. Nobody's gonna do a marble ashtray. It was, and even if they want to, it's such a Herculean pain in the ass to get it done. I mean,
Oh
we've
my
talked
God.
about that. You're getting Italian marble into China, the back out at just good God. And then plus the run itself, as we've said, we'd slated it. How many pieces originally was that? It was 300.
300 or 300 or
And
350, and then
yeah,
damage and
and
shipping.
just less than half are ultimately were QC'd out to make it out. So once they're done, they're done.
Yeah.
But it's a fun piece, and it's one of those quirky, whenever when somebody comes into your house, I mean, if they know what it is, you've profiled them, they're your new friend. Like hugs, you know what this is. I love you.
It might be the most limited edition. Don't quote me on this. It's probably at the end of the day the most limited edition Creepshow film collectible ever.
Yeah, it's a good.
When you consider how many got out there versus how many we made versus, there's Creepshow masks and things. I know like Trick or Treat does their masks in the hundreds, potentially thousands. I can't think of one licensed collectible out. The comics printed thousands. This is like a licensed Creepshow collectible that there'll be 125 of them in the wild, maybe 150.
Yeah, and as much as we've talked about it. We've talked about our favorite props we've done. We kind of always, that one comes up a lot. Yeah, we love the piece. It's just, man, from a business point of view, it was a silly thing for us to do, and the juice was not worth the financial squeeze at all.
No.
But it's nice to have it on the shelf and in the collection. But it does represent that and the thumb knives now are pretty much the last of our horror pieces for a little bit.
We have Phantasm. We can't forget about Phantasm.
Oh, we do have the Phantasm. We have the Phantasm ornaments, which have been really popular. And then our first wave of our Sentinel spheres that have come and gone. And then we've got some QC work to do on
our Lost Boys
back
bottle.
into some recent ones.
Lost Boys still horror.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we do have a little. Yeah, we got a little bit left. Lost Boys always strikes me as so fun, and sure, people are dying and stuff, but it's not dark like
Dude, you
Night
know what?
Breed or anything.
Lost
that?
Boys feels
Yeah.
like a summer movie to me because it's on the beach.
I know,
It feels like a
me
summer movie.
Right? It's like vampires are fun, yay!
Yay.
Well,
Yeah.
especially 'cause
They're riding
Jared
they're
and I,
riding a carousel at the beginning,
we've
which
both
doesn't
lived in
strike terror in my
California.
heart.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure Jared's been to Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
You know, I spent a lot of time in Santa Cruz. Like, I've been there. Like, you're there and you go there in the summer. It's a beach boardwalk.
Lost
You
Boys
know,
is
it
a
is
summer
very
movie.
summery.
It's
Mhm.
funny when you see some of the memes, you know, they'll be like, these are real vampires, and they'll show the Lost Boys vampires, which I agree are some pretty dope vampires, but they'll compare them to, you know, Twilight and stuff.
Twilight.
And then you're like, don't forget, they're riding a carousel when the movie begins. They're walking around. I mean, you can only be so hard ass when you're walking around on
Yeah.
a carousel.
Vampires.
Well, and one of them has their hat off, like riding and swaying on the carousel too.
And-
One of
and
them's
they-
having a
Brand new
genuinely
as
good
well.
time. He's having like a real experience with that.
Oh yeah.
And
I gotta
so
remember
I
to
do
cut that
believe
off.
that even though it is summer, yesterday was the first day of summer, actually, the summer solstice. I do believe this is the beginning of spooky season, because now is when you start to see like Halloween season stuff slowly trickle out there. Like decorations will start to get out there, very little, but I do believe this is the start of spooky season, and I for one am here for it.
There's a store called At Home, which we don't have where I
Yes.
live, but
Yes.
I've been watching someone follow like Halloween Reddits, and people were taking photos in At Home, and they already have their like version of the Home Depot 20-foot
Yes.
skeleton out.
Is that
so
like
they're
it's
all,
like a home goods store where
Yeah.
I
they
assume it's
put
like a
all the shit?
Lowe's.
It's like
but
a
I don't
weird.
know.
It's like a Hobby Lobby and
Mhm.
Bed Bath and
Marshalls
Beyond.
Tuesday morning
Marshall.
all put together, but it's huge,
Yeah.
an enormous store. And
Oh,
they
see,
do.
it
They're
reminded me of like a
size of a
Lowe's, which is
Sam's.
more Home Depot to me.
It's about
Yeah.
the size of a Lowe's. It's that big,
Mhm.
but
Huh.
it is. You don't find tools and stuff there, but you do find a lot of home decor stuff like you would at Hobby Lobby. But it's about twice the size of Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, our local Home Depot and Lowe's will start carving out their little Halloween corner soon. And
Mhm.
but
Well,
yeah, it's
I
always
mean, for anyone interested, this weekend, my daughters and I mean, we've been doing this since before I had daughters, plural. We do Summerween. So we
that's
do
right.
a bunch of Halloween stuff in the summer, and we carve jack-o'-lanterns, and we do like carve jack-o'-melons. We carve
Oh,
watermelons
okay.
into jack-o'-lanterns, and we just get up, we watch, you know, scary movies all day, which are, you know, The Great Pumpkin, the Gravity Falls animated Summerween episode. I made custom T-shirts, so we do T-shirts now every year. We have like you know, a select Halloween menu, and sometimes if we time it, it's not on the same day every year, but sometimes we time it right when the home goods stores are starting to put out that stuff. So it's always fun to like put on our Summerween shirts
Oh, this
and
is
do
fantastic. I love this.
yeah. This is the
Yeah,
9th year we've done it.
Nice.
Hmm.
This is awesome. This is a great idea.
Yeah. And so it's our tradition. Sometimes we had like the neighbors usually will come over, but they're away this year. Yeah, so we just kind of do, you know, and then we do like a camp out in the TV room when we fall asleep to like, you know, a age appropriate scary movie like The Blob or, you know, Forbidden Planet.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, I always thought that was a great idea. I love hearing about it when you guys do that. But you know, it's a good segue, I guess. I mean, we haven't really talked about this before. We certainly didn't plan for it. I think everybody, the 2 or 3 people who are watching this, did we mention in the last video that we met
We met one of them. So if that, hi,
Hey, talking
thanks for
about
watching.
talking about
She was
you.
so nice. Yeah, you, the nice lady who came up and told us that she loved these.
It dropped our bat glyph. No, it was the bat grapnel. I was teasing
bat
her that
grapnel.
yeah, she was breaking stuff.
Yeah, but because she was
we
a
let her
fan, it
stay
was
because
fun.
she's our only fan. So
Yeah, so thank you.
no, she was awesome. She's so great. It's a good segue. So whenever we start these videos, we don't really plan them anymore. We, as you can tell, we kind of just get in and just go, and we forget and leave out a bunch of stuff when we do that. But talking about the horror stuff, something that we're working on, and it may or may not happen. So you guys let us know what you think about it. You know, the shears, in Exorcist 3. We're working on those. So we may we're supposed to have a prototype
the 3D
soon.
printed. Do you want me to
Should
I go grab the
Sure.
3D
Why
printed
not?
ones? Hold on.
I mean, it would be
It's
the
my-
same if you
so
hadn't
that-
actually get up and go to your labyrinth of
No,
stuff
that's like my
off
new
screen.
thing.
And if you do not come back with Mr. T, I'm gonna hurt you.
Mr.
No,
T's above me, not behind me.
no, he's on a shelf above. He's lording over Tyler.
So these were just, I mean, this is a bad 3D print, but these were for our size reference. So I mean, they're going to be meaty. Remember, like the, I mean, if you know what we're talking about, you already know.
If you
what
know
we're
the
talking
scene,
about.
you know the scene.
Yeah, it is the scene. It's like always in the top 3 scariest horror movie scenes ever. I mean, obviously this print is it's a little ridgy because we just did a low. It was just a low quality quick print, 100% to decide what size to make them.
And so there was, and we should probably mention our provenance there. Where we got our reference and everything from.
Dockerman, who was the art director on the original film. Actually, we always thought these were found objects, like from an old Civil War amputation kit or something. They kind of have that feel,
right?
But they weren't. He actually designed them, and then the original ones he designed for the movie just got destroyed. They were made really quick. I mean, the scene is all of a second and a half, and then they show up again for another second and a half. But he remade them in 3D and gave us the files to use with his blessing. So this is as close as you get. This is essentially production made, although not production made by the art director who designed it the first time.
So like we've talked about before, when we're kind of just starting to ferret these things out and realize what we might want to do them in, we go through the whole struggle. We don't want to do chromed plastic. Resin's going to be fragile. If we're going to do these, the only way we pretty much agreed, the only way we're going to do these is in metal and make them everything they're supposed to be. So we're still exploring what the final price point would be and working our way through all those logistics. But yeah, you guys be sure and let us know if it's something you're into. Again, trying to give a little bit of love to these. It's not an obscure film. It's got a diehard, cultish following. It's just there's sometimes not enough of us to support bringing one of these things through to production. So we're pretty deep into this one. We're expecting to have some prototypes soon, and we're going to talk more about it in the future. We'll let you know which way the propometer is going on that, whether we're going to, actually get them done or not. But we're really thinking about it. So we do like to give all those horror properties some love. That said, I'm watching the clock here. Some stuff we left out last week. Let's run back to Fan Expo real quick. Fan Expo Dallas. Again, met a lot of great people there. We're still in the process of sharing photos and that sort of thing. And what a wonderful opportunity. I finally got in the same room with Adam. So Adam Savage and I have known each other about 25, 26 years. And man, we could be more friendly, but we've just had this on, a lot of people have this dynamic where you make friends online and you end up on the phone and working on one another's projects and buying and selling and trading stuff back and forth. And Adam and I have been that way for a very long time. And man, I even back during an old Mythbusters episode when they did the 007 stuff, they did Odd Jobs hats. I had done the Odd Job hats for them, and I was telling Adam or somebody online that you could actually throw these things, and they were somewhat aerodynamic, and they ended up doing something like that on Mythbusters. So I mean, that's how far back we go. But anyway, yeah, I was kind of jazzed to find out he was at the show, so I slipped over, and we got to finally catch up and chat for a second. So that was awesome. And what else? What else? That's what else we have from that show. There was some other things we were going to double back on. Amy, help me out. Did I put you on the spot?
We do.
That
was me drawing a complete blank and sandbagging you.
Yep.
No, I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, but what? I know we talked about talking about something else.
Well, we are going to be putting together kind of a longer video and photo format. So if you guys came by our booth at Dallas Fan Expo, regardless of whether we took photos or you took photos, please send us those, info@paragonfxgroup.com.
We were missing some pictures. Tyler was hoping somebody maybe had caught Dreyfus, sticking his shark's tooth in his teeth.
True.
And we were hoping somebody might have that. And then just in general, if you pick something up from us, because we had a lot of new friends at the show who were doing, they filmed some quick videos for us, their thoughts on different props and that sort of thing. And we're trying to put those things together. And if you pick something up from us and you want to record a quick minute and a half of something, what you think about some pieces, reach out to us, send it over to us, because we're going to try to get some video together of just pretty much, it's one thing for us to get on and just talk about what we do and what we think of a given prop that we've made. You know, all of us, we're not really ones to flex and then we did this and then we did that and blah 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 blah. It's much better if you tell us how awesome it is, and then we get to share that with everybody else. So if you want to participate in something like that, just reach out, and that's through info@paragonfxgroup.com, and Amy will be on the other end there to guide you and tell you what we need. So it'd be great if you guys want to help us out with stuff like that.
Awesome.
I'm
Well,
looking for a way to get off this call. This room that I'm in is so hot that I'm like completely broke, and I'm like just dying. I'm dying in here. I'm like, all right, we gotta wrap this up. Let's go.
Well, thank you guys so much for talking horror with us today. And please, if you have photos, reach out to us, info@paragonfxgroup.com, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
All right,
Also,
guys.
yeah, we'd love to see how you have them set up. Like when you get home and set it up. Like, let's see your collection. Let's see stuff.
yeah.
Let's see our stuff in your
Oh,
house.
yeah.
Send us pics.
Absolutely.
Do all that. Yes.
All of it.
All right, everybody have a good weekend. I'm out.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.